Assalamu alaikum. Okay, today in this video I'm going to explain you the meninges and especially the dura mater, because dura mater has different folds. So this video totally comprises dura mater, and then I'll explain you next videos the arachnoid and the pia mater and the sinuses as well. First of all, talking about the meninges, what are the meninges? They are the layers that cover the brain. We have brain in the skull and it is covered by three layers which are called meninges. Outermost is the dura mater. Inner to the dura mater is the arachnoid mater, and inner to the arachnoid mater is the pia mater. These are just layers, three layers of different components: fibrous layer, fibrofatty tissue, collagen fibers, and different things that make up a single layer. And they cover all three layers cover the brain which is present inside them, so that it is not harmed in any case. It is protected. Now, first of all, we'll talk about the outermost layer, that is the dura mater, which is connected on the outside to the skull. For example, this is the skull of a person as I have made. First of all, just inner to it we have the dura mater, and after that we have the arachnoid mater, then pia mater, and then we have the brain, which has many foldings like this. So in this case, just like this, we have the arrangement of our matters. Dura mater, the outermost layer, which is the dura mater, actually comprises of two layers. It has two parts. As one side, from the outside it is connected with the skull, and inside it is connected with the arachnoid mater. So its outer layer is known as endosteal layer, and inner layer is the true meningeal layer. Now I'll explain separately about these two layers. What happens is that the outer layer, the endosteal layer, which is lining the inner side of the skull, it is totally the endocranium or the endosteum or the inner layer of the skull, which is the bony layer. We know that the skull bones are the flat bones, and we know their outer covering is known as the periosteum, and inner one is known as the endosteum. So this layer, that is endosteal layer of the dura mater, which is lining the skull. For example, if this is the skull, whole of the skull from inner surface is covered by this dura mater, and whole of this dura mater, the endosteal layer, is actually this inner surface of the skull. Okay. Now, for the meningeal layer, it is nothing more than that. So the only thing which is to be explained, that at the openings and at different areas, what happens with this layer, that is the endosteal layer. नो प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जगह जगह पर कहाँ पर जाती है. सी आप लोगों को मैंने जैसे एक्सप्लेन कर दिया कि दिस एंडोस्टियल लेयर इज जस्ट द एंडोस्टियम दैट इज कवरिंग द इनर सर्फेस ऑफ द बोन्स, बिकॉज हमारी फ्लैट बोन्स में आउटर पेरियोस्टियम होती है, इनर एंडोस्टियम होती है. तो ये जो एंडोस्टियम जो इनर सर्फेस ऑफ स्कल पे है, यही एक्चुअली एंडोस्टियल लेयर ऑफ ड्यूरा मैटर है. अब इस सारी को कवर किया हुआ ड्यूरा मैटर ने, क्योंकि इस यहाँ से ब्रेन स्टेम ने पास करना है. इस ब्रेन स्टेम के पैसेज के अलावा बाकी सारी जगह पर ब्रेन पड़ा हुआ है. तो इस सारी जगह को कवर किया हुआ होता है ड्यूरा मैटर ने. ये मैंने जो है, अगर मैं ब्रेन आप लोगों को नहीं स्कल ना समझ आए, तो ये स्कल का ऑर्बिट्स है, ये उसका स्ट्रेट जगह है, और ये ऊपर से इसको ऐसे कट किया गया है. ठीक है. ओके. नाउ आफ्टर दैट, कहाँ कहाँ पर ओपनिंग्स हैं एंड व्हाट विल हैपन विद दिस ड्यूरा मैटर एट द ओपनिंग्स. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, ये कि फोरामेन मैग्नम, when it reaches the foramen magnum or any other major opening, for example these opening, it becomes continuous with the periosteum that is covering outside. For example, जैसे मेरी finger है, we know कि finger की जो हमारी outer surface है, we have the thin skin and inner surface has thick skin. So at the margins of these two, exactly at this place where thin skin meets the thick skin, they become continuous with each other like this. Same is the case here. Inner is the endosteum or the endosteal layer of dura mater, outer is the periosteum. At every opening, both of these become continuous with each other. Now what happens at this one opening, which is the superior orbital fissure, this opening. See, at this opening, we have the orbit in front like this. See, we have here the orbit from where my pen is poking. So at this layer, when dura mater comes, it becomes continuous with the orbital lining. See, लाइक दिस. आपने ये कहना है कि जब ड्यूरा मैटर इस सारे को कवर कर रही है, उसकी एंडोस्टियल लेयर, और हर जगह पर वो ओपनिंग में पेरियोस्टियम से कंटिन्यूस हो जाती है, बट जब वो सुपीरियर ऑर्बिटल फिशर पे पहुंचती है, इट बिकम्स कंटिन्यूस विद द ऑर्बिटल लाइनिंग और ऑर्बिटल ओपनिंग. दिस डन. Then what happens with the cranial nerves, because cranial nerves भी यहीं से निकलेंगी and then they pass through different openings और फिर वो नीचे चली जाती हैं. So outermost layer of the cranial nerves is made by this endosteal layer of dura mater. You must remember this, क्योंकि dura mater सारे को बाहर से लाइन करे, तो जब cranial nerves भी बाहर की जो उनकी लेयर है, it is formed by this same dura mater. ड्यूरा मैटर की एंडोस्टियल लेयर तो होगी, बहुत अच्छे से होगी, आपने बातें इसके बारे में याद रखनी है. तीन ही तो मेन बातें, एक तो ये कि इट इज द इनर लेयर, ऑल द इनर लेयर ऑफ द स्कल, and secondly at every opening it is continuous with the periosteum of the skull. Thirdly, at superior orbital fissure it makes the orbital lining of the skull like this, and last thing that it makes the outermost covering of the cranial nerves. Now come to the meningeal layer, which is the major layer of the skull. Meningeal layer actually comprises of 4 folds. अब होता क्या है, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हमारे पास ये जो एंडोस्टियल लेयर एंड मेनिंजियल लेयर हर जगह पर ये बिल्कुल एक दूसरे से एडहेरेंट है, क्लोजली जुड़ी हुई है. पहली स्कल के साथ साथ जुड़ी हुई है जी आपकी एंडोस्टियल लेयर, एंड जस्ट आफ्टर द एंडोस्टियल लेयर यू हैव द मेनिंजियल लेयर विल completely adherent to each other. Only wherever the sinuses are present, these are not continuous. What are sinuses and where are they present, ये मैं आपको एक next video में बताऊंगी. You will get it soon inshallah. अभी in next part I am going to tell you about the meningeal layer.